GI Reviews. Today we take a look at Craig Rock and Roll McConnell, courtesy of Hasbro, G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Card Series, to be precise. You see what we got going on there in the packaging. You may have recognized the name Craig Rock and Roll McConnell before. That's because we have gotten him before in a part of their standard line. And the decos on this figure are different than what we got before. Other than that, it is the same cat, to be quite honest with you, with the same accessories as well. Only we got the retro carded version, and of course the paint apps is what changed everything about this. You see the artwork on the side. It's in the style of the old G.I. Joe series, the three, I should say, well, I was going to say 3 3/4 inch line, but it was more the O-ring line, if I'm not mistaken. It's probably one or the other, if not both. But you see what we got going on here, and we have that here in our standard 6-inch scale. So turning to the rear of the packaging, we have what is become commonplace for the retro series. We've got a lot of information back there. You got the artwork, that thumbnail, and below you've got other thumbnails that are alongside Rock and Roll. We've got Dr. Mindbender, and I believe that is a Viper of some kind. I am not really quite sure as of yet. My apologies. I'll probably figure it out before the end of this review. But then we do have the information in different languages, and I'll read that out real quick. Role, machine gunner. Primary specialty, infantry. Secondary specialty, PT instructor. Birthplace was in Malibu, California. Rock and Roll was a surfer and weightlifter in Malibu prior to enlistment. He also played bass guitar in local rock bands. He possesses a strong sense of loyalty to his teammates and is a man of honor and integrity who can be counted on to hold the line. So that's what you have it with our guy Rock and Roll. I believe I've actually, in order to be able to better distribute and display my G.I. Joe figures, I try to set them up in various teams. Some of the teams are already established by Hasbro / G.I. Joe, which is, Hasbro. And, like in the form of the Target exclusives and the Walmart exclusives, Night Force, Tiger Force, what have you. But then I've gone and done teams on my own, like I've got a team that's just called the Strike Team, and you can basically figure out which characters would be in such a team. So it makes it a lot easier to pick and choose what figures, what characters to display. Anyway, enough about that. We're going to, when we come back, Rock and Roll will be out of packaging, and we'll get this party started. Now that we have Rock and Roll out of packaging, I stated at the beginning that it's essentially the same figure as the standard release, the number 71 Rock and Roll, and basically it is, but there are some significant differences. So we've got something to talk about. Before we do, though, I'd like to ask those of you humbly that if you're here to please watch the video until the end, or as close to the end as you can bear dealing with me, because view time is just as important as the views themselves, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, before we get into the figure itself, we're going to check out the accessories that we saw in that retro card packaging, starting with the helmet, This is, of course, the same as we've gotten the first go round. He comes with that, and we've got a pouch on the back of that helmet, and it is painted different color. It is like a brownish color, as well as the ear pads, different color right there. So that's pretty cool. We get a set of additional hands. His basically the Hawaiian sign right there, and a fist for the right hand. We get those, and something about those two hands that we will talk about. We get the communication device, walkie-talkie, if you will. And as you can see, molded in green, the antenna is like a basic kind of gray. So yeah, we've got that. And we also have the sidearm, molded in the black, basically. And as always, with my weapon inclined people, ordnance inclined peeps, let me know what you think this particular weapon is. I could, try to hazard a guess, but why do so when I've got you guys to help a brother out? We also have this magazine case, and you see the bandolier of rounds coming out of that case, and that's a nice segue for Rock's primary weapon, this machine gun. Once again, my ordnance influenced peeps, let me know what this is. As far as the nomenclature is concerned, we do have a bipod that is articulated with this, as you can see, and the magazine, it fits here on the left side of the weapon, and I believe it fits on the left side of the weapon. Let me make sure I'm not messing that up. Yeah, I was right. It does fit on the left side of the weapon. All you have to do is just look down, and whichever direction the rounds are pointing, you know it's got to face forward. So, and then you have the slot right there. So then you affix it to there, and you have that going on. So that's cool. That's ready for Rock to be able to use. And we even get a long strip of rounds right there. So pretty cool. And finally, we get the base that comes with all the retro carded series. Depending on what faction, it'll either have the G.I. Joe symbol / logo, or it'll have the Cobra logo. So we do have that going on. As far as Rock and Roll himself, let's get him up here and take a look at our guy. And looking at that head sculpt, looking really nice. Definite reminders of what we had going on before. Similar to the previous Rock and Roll. He comes with bandoliers, only this time they're differently painted than the last time. This time the bandoliers of the bracketing are black, and the rounds are I'll call them brass. And of course they crisscross. This looks a lot better than the first iteration, and we will compare a little bit later. You'll see what I'm talking about. Other differences, we've got the original one. His shirt was mostly white until you got here. You could still even see the lines where we had the color change. This was green, and it bled over into the shoulders. We still have the line there. On the interior of those lines, it was white. And here is the biggest difference, those arms. Now you're saying, what's the difference? Aren't they the same arms? They are. Only, excuse me, only the arms are bare here. Those of you that have seen, own, or watched any review, mine included, you know that the original is just laced with full sleeves of tattoos on both arms, and that is not the case here. So they did change that, and that's a pretty curious change. That would suggest that this guy is a younger version of rock and roll pre-tattoos, right? You know what I'm saying? As far as the belt is the same as before, only it is now like a charcoal grayish color. It's got everything, the canteen, the patch back here, probably a medical pouch, excuse me. Then down, the same thing with the holster and this other accessory here that's on the thigh, and we're still that same color of green. And then, of course, the boots are brown. As far as the head sculpt, once again, the hair is different. We've got a nice wash in the hair, so I definitely appreciate that. It's looking pretty good. It's been a minute since I've done any classified series, so I'll go through the articulation, even though it's basically standard. The head is on a dumbbell. He can look up that far, look down that far. He give you some good pivot attitude, and of course he can 360 it. Shoulders, he can get into a T-pose a little bit better, but essentially that. Rotation, of course, 360. He's got butterfly joints, so we've got it going on as far as extending and then closing. That's what he's got going on there. It's got the thigh, or rather the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. On his left hand, swivel and horizontal articulation there. On the right, he's got, of course, a swivel, but he's got the vertical articulation. He's got an ab crunch, so he can go forward not too much, only about that much. Go back that much. He's got a waist swivel. He's got drop down legs at the hips. He can kick 90 degrees, go back quite a bit because of those drop downs. He's got the thigh cut, double jointed knees. He's got a swivel at the boot, at the top of the boot, and he's got ankle pivot. He can point forward that far up. He's got the pivot going on, and he's got holes at the bottom of the feet. So, like I said, we've got that nice standard articulation going. In terms of, let's get him centered. And of course focused in. Let's get him somewhat equipped before we compare him. So the sidearm slides into that holster. The holster is loose and free flowing, so you'll have to adjust it periodically. So just so you know. And then let's see what else we've got here. The walkie-talkie, it affixes to the rear. You have a peg hole off to his right, and you put that walkie-talkie in there. It's going to bend the antenna, so be prepared for that. And then, of course, we'll throw on that helmet. And that is how it goes down with rock and roll. Now for our side-to-side comparison, to check out those differences, the, of course, most obvious one, or one of the two most obvious ones, I'll have to say, because the lack of tattoos on our retro version is standing out glaringly. But other than that, the most obvious differences are, of course, the shirts. The shirts on both of them. You see that difference. We've got another difference here would be the helmets. Our number 71 has actual writing on the helmet, and it reads Hang 10, which is that Hawaiian sign. You know, this. But we don't get that text on our retro. Next difference you can see obvious are the colorations for the bandoliers that crisscross. And you see this is basically brown with a very plastic looking gold for the rounds themselves, where we get the paint here. So yeah, so definitely the retro wins when it comes to the bandoliers. The number 71 wins when it comes to the helmet. And number 71 definitely wins when you talk about the tats and how they're missing. Unless, of course, that's obviously subjective. You may prefer your rock and roll with no tats, but I think that's part of the whole visage, a part of his whole allure are the tats, and that's for both sides, by the way. As I'll turn this way so you can see what's going on. No tats. So will that be a deal breaker for you guys? No tats on the retro? You know what I'm saying? Unless, of course, you don't have rock and roll and you do want him and you're unable to locate a number 71. So you've got to get the retro. Like I said, the good things about you see the different colors with the web gear around the waist, and of course the holsters. They're like a very flat matted black on the retro, and they're brown on the number 71, and of course the different shades of green for the trousers, and of course the upper green on our number 71, and then there's a different colors in the boots. And quite frankly, we have certain different coloration. Let's see if I can get this in there and get us focused so you can see what I'm talking about. More focus problems. Come on, focus, focus. Doesn't want to cooperate. Still going to try here. There we go. Took some doing. Apologies for that. That took about 12-15 seconds longer than it should have been. But you can see that the shading is slightly different. That's because we have more of a dark wash on our retro version. Also with the helmets, if you look, there are different colors for the we'll call them the earpieces, as well as the rear. Got out of focus again, but we're about to set them back up anyway and get them where they belong. So this is how we do it when we're live and vivid. So that those are the differences in the two versions of Craig Rock and Roll McConnell. And for a couple more comparisons, we have on our right CoverGirl, and on our left, and I believe, yeah, this CoverGirl is also retro, and on our left we have Clutch from the Clutch and Vamp set, the vehicle set, you know, like a Jeep. And the reason that I have chosen these two for the comparison is because these two, along with number 71, were part of the display, one of the displays I have in my DTOF room, and 71 is going to get replaced by our retro cat right here, because I think he looks more suitable for the display. before I even turn to the display, I do want to say that I believe that at some point we're going to see some customizers changing out the arms here and putting the number 71's arms, because like I said, that's rock and roll, those tats. But I digress. We'll just wait and see. Here's the display I was speaking of. This was basically how it appeared in one of my detolfs, only with number 71 at the helm of the rear of the vamp. And just so you know how he's hanging on, I've got a rear bumper that I got third party style. Makes it all lovely, and of course more believable that there's a rear machine gun. And seeing as how rock and roll, that's his specialty, being a machine gunner, I thought that he was a natural to be manning these double guns back here. So to wrap this one up, the G.I. Joe Classified Series retro carded Craig Rock and Roll McConnel is a very good figure, just like the previous one. It's essentially the same figure, but there are enough differences to make this basically unique when you think about it. And not necessarily to a fault. I think there are some cases here where just returning to the old way would have been preferable. Namely, the tats on the arms. I would have preferred to have the tats on the arms. And the crazy thing is, you're talking. You're listening to a guy who is not a fan of tattoos, but that's how I know Rock to be. So that's my mind's eye for him. The paint apps on the bandoliers are a definite plus over what we got with number 71. The wash in the hair and beard are definitely, in my opinion, better than what we got from the standard release. And yeah, other than that, they're the different uniform color change, which is, for me, neither here nor there. I do think that this version will go better with my vamp diorama. And so that's who I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with this guy for that. And yeah, other than that, like I said, very good figure. I'm glad to have this. Let me know down below, do you have number 71? And if you do, does that make this one a pass? Or there's enough differences here that you'll get this one too? Or did you miss out on 71 and can't locate him, so you're going to get this guy? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the differences between the two, especially because those differences definitely stand out. They're not subtle in any way, shape, or form. And some good, some not so good. That's subjective. That's in my opinion. So, let me know what your opinion is. Also, like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. I'm considering some changes to the channel. But I'm not there yet. I'm just considering, and I will. You guys will be the first to know. That's for sure. Any changes that I make. But until then, we're going to keep on rocking on with GI Reviews. I am the Ruckus. Glad you guys have rocked with me. And until next time, take care.